guns onto wheels, making my dreams become real. It's changed my life and how I feel. This trip is a big deal. The Highlands Scramble, can't forget the ride. The Highlands Scramble, you need to come and try. The Highlands Scramble, say the Highlands on two wheels.
Howdy action figures, and welcome back to another epic Highlands episode of Action Motorcycles. You're in for a treat today as we're finally hitting the official NC500 route here on day 3 and packing in over 8 hours of riding into our busiest day of the tour. We just pulled into the Borgie Lodge on the northern coast after an absolutely brilliant spirited ride from John Groats. There are tons of amazing sights from here on out, but I have to say, this ride on the northern coast was the most fun riding I had on the entire trip. Today we started from King Ussie and said goodbye to the Cairngorms before heading north towards Inverness. After a quick gas stop in Avonmore, we made our way towards the solemn fields of Culloden, skirting Inverness and then across the Cromarty Firth for an amazing early lunch and fun filming at the Storehouse. From there we experienced the unrelenting beauty of the ocean scenery, riding all the way up the refined and gorgeous eastern coastline to Wick, then to John Groats for the obligatory signpost and sticker placement experience, before a spirited ride west along the north coast, chasing cows, sheep, and the sun to Borgie. Well, as you guys can see, I'm not in Scotland anymore. I'm actually back in the United States filming some more content. But I want to take a minute and talk about this amazing day we had, day 3. Turns out there was so much going on and the day was so full, and it happened the next day as well on day 4, that I had to trade off my introduction and kind of film time doing this kind of thing in order to be able to capture the last bit of light for some drone flying when I was there. So what an incredible experience. I can't believe we got it all in and what we did, from the amazing time riding up to Inverness and Culloden, stopping with the sweet staff at the Storehouse, making the delicious fish and chips lunch, and then bombing all the way up to John Groats, and then having a really spirited ride out west to Borgie. It was an amazing day, and I can't wait for you guys to check it all out. So let's take a look at the Borgie Hotel real quick, or the Borgie Lodge, and then after that we can hit the road. All right, enough of that stuff. Let's hit the road. Always the last person. It's time to say goodbye to King Ussie, whose name means head of the pine forest. It's long been a gateway to the Cairngorms, where history, heather, and high roads all meet. Just outside King Ussie, the ruins of Ruthven Barracks rise from a hill like a stone skeleton. Built to control the Highlands in 1719 after the Jacobite uprising, they've seen a rebellion, fire, and centuries of wind, and somehow they're still standing. As you can see, my dad and I switched bikes today. He's on the Himalayan 450 and I'm on the Bear 650. It definitely took some getting used to after riding on that 21-inch wheel all day yesterday. Just beyond Kingussy, the Spey winds past Loch Inch. This is one of Scotland's most important rivers. It feeds salmon runs, distilleries, and 1,000 stories. Every drop that flows past here ends up in a bottle of Speyside whiskey or the North Sea. This is Aviemore, the adventure capital of the Cairngorms. Once a quiet railway stop, it boomed in the 1960s as Britain's first ski resort. Today it's the heartbeat of Highland tourism, where every mountain trail and whiskey road seems to begin. High in the Cairngorms lives Britain's only free-ranging reindeer herd, first reintroduced from Sweden in 1952. They roam the hills above Aviemore, descendants of the same herds that once wandered Scotland 1,000 years ago. Don't forget to follow the links in the description of this video for a 10% discount on Dynamoto motorcycle stands. These are the best motorcycle stands in the market. I've been using them long before I've been advertising them, and I highly recommend you guys go check them out. We got a chance for one last photo op here in the Cairngorms before we headed farther north to Inverness. Most of the sheep along this route were pretty indifferent to us, but one of them gave us a pretty good stare down. Out on a lonely loch north of Granton, the ruins of Lochendorb Castle sit adrift in the water. Built in the 1200s and once ruled by the Wolf of Badenoch, the king's lawless son, it's a reminder that beauty and danger have always shared this landscape. The Wolf of Badenoch, Alexander Stewart, son of King Robert II, ruled these highlands with fire and fury in the 1300s. When the church crossed him, he burned the Cathedral of Elgin to the ground. His ghost is still said to haunt Lochendorb on stormy nights. The Jacobite uprising was a fight to restore the exiled Stuart kings to the throne. For the Highland clans, it was more than just politics. It was loyalty, faith, and the defense of a way of life that was disappearing. It all ended at Culloden. April 16, 1746. The Jacobite army of Bonnie Prince Charlie met the government forces of the Duke of Cumberland. In less than an hour, 1,500 mostly Highland men were dead, and the last battle ever fought on British soil was over. Culloden ended the Jacobite dream and changed the Highlands forever. The clans were broken, Gaelic was silenced, and tartan banned. The same soldiers who crushed the rebellion built the roads and bridges we still ride today. Outside the busy coffee shop, today Culloden is quiet, a moor of wind, stone, and memory. Each of the clan's markers stand where they fell, a reminder that the Highlands were shaped as much by loss as by victory. Alright, that's enough history for now. Let's go ride on some bridges and get some food. A firth is a narrow coastal inlet, similar to an estuary or ford, where the sea extends deep inland, often mixing with river water. The Kessock Bridge in Inverness crosses the Borgie Firth, linking Inverness to the Black Isle and the road north to the NC500. It opened in 1982 and spans about 0.65 miles, with a dramatic cable-stayed design that mirrors the modern identity of the Highlands. The bridge marks a symbolic gateway, leaving the Highland capital behind and entering the far north. The second bridge in a row, the Cromarty Bridge, crosses one of Scotland's great natural harbours, the Cromarty Firth. Once a naval stronghold, now home to oil rigs and dolphins, it's where the modern north begins and the road to the wild coast truly starts. All right, so introduce yourself and tell me where you're from.
Hi everyone, I'm Brett from Australia. Recently retired at the ripe old age of 57.
Why did you come on this trip?
Long story short, it's always been a bit of a dream of mine to do the NC500, and it just happened that it coincided with the holiday with my wife, and a mate of mine sent me the details of Bikerbnb, and I looked at them on the website, and I thought, I've got to do this.
Good deal. So going, was the trip what you expected? Was there, did you get what you wanted?
Well, from the meticulously planned routes to the quality of the guidance by Steve, Tony and Tim, The accommodation far exceeded my expectations, and I had pretty high expectations. It's just, and the fact that you enjoy it with like-minded people who love motorcycles. The scenery is amazing, the riding's amazing. I've done some tours in America, I've done some tours in India, I've ridden a lot of roads in Australia, and I can honestly say that if I pick the best experiences that I've had on all those rides, if you come to the Scottish Highlands, you get them all in one. We did a great ride yesterday, and the diversity of the scenery, the diversity of the riding, it was just all encompassing, and that was one day, and we had 5 days like that, so it was absolutely amazing.
So if you had to pick, so yes, I'm assuming that Bialik was a top highlight, but if you had to pick another highlight beyond Bialik,
Is that the big pass at work?
Yeah. What's another highlight that jumps out for you?
So the Talisker whiskey they put out a lot of whiskies, right? And on one of their labels is a picture of the coastline.
Yeah.
And we stopped off and had a look at the Isle of Skye and everything like that. And as we're leaving there, riding along that coastline, I'm thinking I'm riding in the Talisker whiskey, label. It is just absolutely amazing.
Nice.
So it's just one of those experiences. That's one of many experiences, but that was another highlight moment for me as well.
Good deal. All right. Well, hey man, I appreciate it. Thank you. It's great to meet you. And looking forward to riding again together in Australia one day.
I would say that if you're an avid motorcyclist, right, this has got to be on your bucket list, and you've got to do it with Bikerbnb. You won't regret it.
All right, with bellies full and smiles on our faces, we dodged some rain and are now about to ride a couple hours up the East Coast. And you guys are not going to believe how much water we got to stare at. It was an absolutely beautiful ride. I hated cutting all this out, but you just can't stare at the same screen for too long before your eyes get bored. So enjoy this ride as we show it, and just really kind of understand that there was hours and hours of this gorgeous scenery that we got to watch, and it was really something incredible. Speaking of water, a kyle is a narrow strait or channel of water, usually where the sea or a firth squeezes between two areas of land. Borora Bridge, which was built in 1812, crosses the Kyle of Sutherland, a place where 4 rivers meet the sea and where every major Highland road once converged. You can see here the amazing scenery that we were riding through, made even better by the changing colors and being kissed by the sun. It really felt like maybe we were in Tuscany or somewhere in Italy, somewhere on the European continent. Just absolutely incredible, and we couldn't believe what we were riding through when we saw it. hill above Brora, a stone soldier looks out to sea, the village's memorial to those who never came home. It's quiet, simple, and unmistakably Scottish. Remembrance carved into the landscape. At this point, we were on a mission. Groats or bust. Let's go see John of Groats. But first, a stop in Wick. I've got to say something else about the east coast of the NC500. It feels almost curated. Elegant stone villages, coastal cliffs, and calm roads that lead through centuries of history. This is the Highlands with a touch of the continent. It's right about here is where I really started getting tired of the bare 650's clutch cover. It's so close to the brake pedal, it was just really aggravating. There are a lot of great things about this bike, but that wasn't one of them. After we made it through some traffic, the bear more than made up for that annoying clutch cover with some punchy engine power running next to the coastline. It was right about here that I started to really regret unzipping in all the vents on my jacket at that last gas stop. The weather definitely started to change, and even though it was still beautiful, it was getting much colder. The town of Wick was once the busiest herring port in Europe. Its old whiskey still carries the taste of sea salt and storms, distilled on the edge of the North Sea. We stopped in Wick to take a little break, and I attempted to buy some SD cards to replace some that were lost, and learned one of my lessons that I shared in my previous videos. Speaking of lessons learned, here's my lesson learned for this day. Just get a plain old Visa credit card for a trip like this. Half the places we went to didn't take my American Express, and the other half messed up when I tried to use my Visa bank card, and then my funds were all isolated for a couple days until they released them back. So just get a regular old Visa card and get rid of all those problems. We're coming up on John of Groats, the northern tip of mainland Britain. 874 miles from Land's End, it's less about distance and more about the feeling. You really are standing at the edge of the world. So the area around John of Groats was settled by a Dutchman named Jan de Groot, also rendered John of Groats, in the late 1400s. He ran a ferry to the Orkney Isles, and his house is said to have had 8 doors and an octagonal table so each of his sons could enter and sit with equal status. hard to overstate how windswept and cold it felt up here at John O'Groats. It really did feel like you're at the edge of the world. Leaving John O'Groats and heading back into Sutherland, you're riding through areas where crofters were cleared in the 18th and 19th centuries. The landscape carries layers of social history. The region of northern Sutherland was heavily impacted by the Highland clearances from 1750 to 1860, where many tenants were forcibly evicted to make way for sheep farming, which dramatically altered the population, culture, and landscapes of the Highlands. Alright, not to oversell this, but get ready for some amazing scenery as the sun starts to set behind the mountains. This might have just been another ride for the others, but at the risk of being a bit too candid, this ride was a bit like a reset button for my soul. I was just so happy to be here, and this was absolutely amazing. I can't lie, even though I love the Himalayan, I was glad to be on the Bear for this ride. It felt glued to the tarmac, and I got to use a lot, if not all, of the engine and push it really hard. Over our cardos, my dad and I were just two broken records repeating the same thing back at each other. Is this really happening? Where are we? And can you even believe this? The road peeled my stress away and my mind cleared. I even got to allow myself to be giddy that we still had 3 more days of riding left. Just check this stuff out. So that about does it for this episode of Action Motorcycles. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to this video and channel. And hey, keep looking for action.
It in here.
No,
Oh no, it goes.
Yeah. It's got its own pocket. All right. Thank you.
Jeez, I just did a zip and tuck.